Everyone, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Joanna, would you start us off? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Joanna, would you please do the roll call?
Member Collins?
Here.
Member Lewis?
Here.
Member Sonity?
Here.
Member Williams?
Here.
Mayor Lynch?
Here. We have the approval of the minutes. Is that right, Nina? September 28th? Is that those are? There was a little question mark by there. I think Norma was. Okay.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the September 28, 2021 meeting.
A second.
We have a motion by Steve, seconded by Joetta. Is there any discussion, changes? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have no unfinished business. We have new business special event requests. Portage Township YMCA 5K race. Good morning, Shannon.
Good morning. Nothing new and exciting, unfortunately, just the turkey trot race. The map has been sent to Portage PD, and no concerns there, although I see Chief in the back in case he wants to address anything. Thanksgiving morning, our racers will line up at the Y, head back through the trail across under Willow Creek into the subdivision, and then come back and finish in our parking lot.
Is this a walk, run, or just a race?
You can walk, yes.
Okay, this is something you've done for several years, right?
21.
Yeah, I thought so.
21 years, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I make a motion to approve the Y Turkey Trot 5K race on Thanksgiving morning.
Second.
We have a motion by Steve. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hope you have great weather for it.
Thank you.
The motion was made by Scott and I seconded.
Okay. I'm looking at the names backwards, sorry.
All right.
Okay, we have the City of Portage Trick or Treat Daytime. Did someone put that on there?
Diane did. It's just always a standing thing.
Okay.
What, 5:30 to 7:30?
5:30 to 7:30 on Halloween. I think that's pretty standard for most of the other cities around us. We try to check with them and see what they're doing, and that's pretty much what everybody's doing. So, okay.
Need a motion to approve.
Make a motion we approve Halloween for Halloween.
Second.
We have a motion by Jamie, seconded by Steve. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We have an add-on here. It's a Halloween fun run. Angie, are you here? Would you like to explain that? It didn't get on the agenda because she brought in late, but we need to approve that today because it'll be too late for the next meeting, so we said okay.
I'm not Angie, I'm Becca, but I'm here for Dream Big Gymnastics.
Okay. So do you just want to tell us a little bit about it? You're starting at the YMCA, and this is on 10/30?
Yes, it's the day before Halloween in the
Okay.
morning. It's just going to be a kids' fun run. Parents can go with them. They can walk, they can run, wear their costumes. We're just trying to raise some money for Dream Big Gymnastics because we are moving locations and we're going to have to get some more equipment.
Are you staying on the trail?
Yeah, that's what
It's going to be the same trail as the turkey trot, I
You
believe.
can pull that down
Yes.
so we can.
It's the same trail as the turkey trot. The YMCA gave us the route, and they said that's the one that usually is done.
Is there a fee to sign up for?
It's $20 per kid. Any additional sibling in the family is $15, so $5. And then the parents don't have to pay.
And does it matter if the child is a member of Dream Big Gymnastics?
No.
Make sure you forward that map to the police department for this Saturday.
Okay, so just let them know what event's gonna happen and forward to it.
Chief, is that what they need to do, or?
Yeah, so we're gonna be going on the roads then, right? That's your plan?
I believe part of it is, yeah.
Okay.
It's the exact same amount as mine.
So I was asking, do we usually have the reserves out there to help you guys, or is it not an issue? Okay. Yeah, I'll give you some information afterwards, send it to us, and then I'll get out to our patrol supervisor, just so you know what's going on.
I make a motion to approve the Dream Big Gymnastics Halloween Fun Run 5K per you talking to the police chief and organizing, and
Okay.
doing all the plans there.
I second the motion.
We have a motion by Steve, seconded by Joetta. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good luck. Hope you have good weather. We have bulk item appeals. Randy?
There are none. Sorry.
Good job. We have the claims of $241,754.71. Everybody get a chance to look at those?
Yes.
Yes.
I make a motion to approve the standard claims of today, October 12th, 2021, for $241,754.71.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Scott, seconded by Steve, to approve the standard claims. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So Nina, I have a question because now we have payroll on there again. And what, explain that to me because it's now $4,155,000.
So it's all of the pay, so we've done 3 separate registers for payroll. The first one was a little over 2 million, the second one was a little over 10 million, this one's a little over 4 million. This includes payroll year to date except for just last week's pay. So moving forward, it'll just have 1 or 2 pays on the bank
Okay,
account.
so this brings us up to date.
All of July, all of August,
All of it.
half of September.
All of September.
All of September, okay.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the payroll claims in the amount of $4,155,190.56.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Steve, seconded by Jamie. Any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have major illness claims.
Yes, Madam Mayor, there were 6 that I approved, and I recommend the board accept those and approve them.
I make a motion to approve the 6 major illness claims.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Joetta, seconded by Jamie. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We do have one other item on the agenda. It's the a project that we're working on, and it would be for the purchase of ClearPath software if indeed we have to pay for it. So I'll let Kathy Sippel come up and she can explain this project that the city is getting into, and I'm really excited about it. At first, we were told that we could probably get the ClearPath software at no charge, but Kathy doesn't feel for this project that we're going to be able to do it. So in order to move forward with the project, we need to kind of provisionally approve the purchase of the software, which is $1,200, to be able to move forward, and I'll let Kathy take it from here.
Sure, thanks for allowing me to speak about this. What this would do would be to bring Portage on board with the regional greenhouse gas emissions inventory that I have been working on along with NERC since May. We had 6 interns over the summer to work on this, so the interns were a big part of our cost. The interns have already been paid for. We have 1 remaining intern who is willing to help us through mid-December, and also Frank here in the audience is a Portage resident, and he's willing to also provide some administrative support for free. So what this would do would bring Portage up to speed with all 3 counties, that's LaPorte, Porter, and Lake County, as well as 11 cities within those counties who were part of this regional greenhouse gas emissions inventory. So having done so, Portage will be eligible to continue with us in the cohort next year, which will be to develop a climate action plan. While the other cities and counties will have to pay an additional fee, Portage will already kind of prepay for that. So the fee is not simply for the software, it's also for technical support from Ymca, which works with local governments for sustainability. They're out of Denver. And I've been in contact with them every week, so I think they would have told me if this exact thing would be available for free. It's possible that your staff person is aware of some other greenhouse gas inventory software, but it's important for us to be consistent on all the cities and counties in the inventory to use the same one, otherwise we wouldn't be able to provide the support. Does that help? Mm-hmm. And just as a comparison, if a city or county were to do one of these reports on their own, typically baseline fee would be $15,000 for the entire thing. So by us providing the administrative support and you just having to pay for the software, we feel like that's a really good value. We'd be very pleased to have Portage be a part of it.
Another part of this project that Kathy and Frank told me about is a project called the Learning Garden. And the Learning Garden, because we are getting our youth commission back up again and running, is a fabulous project that it doesn't cost us anything and all the materials are free, but it's a learning garden project that our youth commission could be involved in. I don't know if you want to speak about the learning garden.
That is actually a totally separate program that's offered through Earth Charter Indiana. That is who I work with as paid part-time staff with Earth Charter Indiana. Frank's mother, Debbie, is also a board member, and she was the one who brought that to the mayor's attention when we were on a call with her. It's through a Thriving Schools grant, I believe is what it's called. And I didn't bring materials for that, but we are eager to share that with you as well.
Yes, Scott.
So can you explain and tell us what the software will provide for the city and the benefits that we will generate by participating?
Sure, absolutely. Well, to come up with climate solutions that are appropriate, we first need to know what are the baseline emissions underlying your current situation. So the software allows us to input all of the data that we will also need your help with to gather, but that would largely come from NIPSCO for energy emissions, your wastewater, transportation. I should have written it down, it's escaping me right now, but there are like 4 or 5, solid waste, 4 or 5 different major points of greenhouse gas emissions. So having those numbers will allow you to develop appropriate climate solutions for your underlying numbers. And cities and counties who have done so are usually able to get better bond ratings, let's say, because flooding can be an issue. If you don't address climate solutions with climate mitigation, sometimes you can have more flooding. And so it makes you a safer, more resilient city. Also, if you want to apply for some grants, I'd say all other things being equal, cities that have done their homework and have those numbers look better in the eyes of grantees to be awarded funds that help toward climate solutions. Does that help?
It helps. And then who is going to work from the city side, the management of all this? Is this going to come under community development? Not trying to put you on the spot, Mayor, I'm just curious if that's been decided yet.
Well, I'll probably be on it, mainly because I'm on the NERC board and that's how this project came to me. But Joe Everts does all of that for us. Also, AJ, attends the NERC meetings and is involved too, so.
And we've already done this for 14 other jurisdictions, so we're kind of well practiced. We have all the templates ready. You're actually poised at a good time where you're just kind of gaining our excess capacity still left from this project with the benefit of us now actually knowing what we're doing. So we've got all the templates ready. I think Julianne, our intern, already shared them with you, Mayor, is that right?
I haven't seen them yet, but she could have, and I just didn't see them yet.
I believe I saw her send that, but we've basically got the data request. It just is much more meaningful coming from either the mayor's office or some staff person versus, our intern, basically. So if you help us get that data, we basically do almost everything else for you.
So we're just paying for the software to,
Correct. Yep, yep.
The
And
other thing, Scott, is that we had a partnership meeting with the school the other day.
yeah, I had to miss it. I
And Nina
apologize.
participated in that with us. And there was a young man at the school who was doing a solar project for the schools, and we're going to bring him in. He's very interested in partnering on this project, and I think it will be good for the schools to be a part of that project as well.
Great.
yeah, I should just say, we're really lucky to have Frank, who has the technical expertise, and he's willing to do this part, which doesn't have a real environmental flavor, to be honest. It's more nuts and bolts, numbers. But it is in his heart to help youth begin an environmental club. So he would really like to do that when it comes to climate engagement and getting solutions, working with the youth to do just those types of things.
And we're always concerned about being hit with fees that we didn't budget. My question is this a one-time fee, or are there updates that we have to pay for down the road?
This is a one-year membership, so along with the software, it also gets you technical support from from NERC, but also from ICLEI, the people who we work with who have the software. And it gives you, whoever would like it, access to look at all of the past webinars, attend all of the webinars. We have found that a lot of people, in your role are very busy, and they kind of value us attending those for them and just distilling it down for you for what you need to know. But there is quite a bit of access that comes along with the software, so it would be for 1 year.
So if we choose to continue to participate, we'd have to pay the $1,200 each year.
I don't know that you would actually need to keep paying that, because the software is really to generate the report. After you have the report, I'm not sure what the benefit would be to keep going back into the software, but I could be wrong. That said, this is a baseline inventory. We chose the year 2017 because Gary and Michigan City were part of the cohort in 2019, so they were in addition to the 14 that I told you about that just joined for this year. Best practice is to do this again for an update to see how our climate actions are actually making an impact on those numbers. So we may do it again in, let's say, 2022. I don't know yet, but there would be a fee if people wanted to be involved in a re-up, let's say, but it wouldn't be a yearly.
What part of the budget will this come from?
It can come from CCD, it can come from lit.
I'm sorry, Nina?
Is
what
it
was
come from CCD
it
or
can come from lit.
LID?
And from your office's standpoint, Nina, we have the dollars to appropriate for this?
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
There may be even funds bills still in City Hall.
I don't have any other questions. Thank you for answering those.
Thank you. We appreciate your consideration, and we hope to be a partner with you.
Need a motion?
We need a motion on that, if we're gonna do it.
I make a motion that we appropriate the $1,200 for the ClearPath software with the understanding this is a one-year subscription for that software to participate in the greenhouse gas emissions inventory.
I second the motion.
We have a motion by Scott, seconded by Joetta. And I just want to preface that, I know that Kathy did have some concerns, but Joe Eberts did say that he thought maybe we could get that program through an education program, so it may be such a thing as we can, but we need to clear it just in case we can't. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there any other business to come before the board this morning?
Madam Mayor, I have two things.
Okay?
So the first one is more of a scheduling question for the board. As you may recall from so many moons ago, I indicated that there were couple of grievances that were to step 3 that needed to come in front of the Board of Works. We did a little scheduling thing amongst the board members to figure out a date and time that would work for everybody, but when I went back to the union, it didn't work for them. So I had asked them to give me some dates back. They suggested and asked that maybe either before or right after our next Board of Works meeting, we have an executive session. I don't expect it should take very long. They're pretty straightforward issues that they want to present to the board. I'll leave it at that, but I do need to get that scheduled, so I don't know the board's inclination with 2 weeks from today, whether just before the meeting or just after, or neither works for you.
Well, I don't think we could do it before because Scott won't be available, but if we had a majority,
Yeah.
so let's poll the board and see.
I could do it after the meeting.
I can do it after.
I can do it after.
Should we sort of tell them, maybe advertise an executive session for 11:30, so we're not cramping the Board of Works meeting, and go from there? That gives us an hour for the Board of
Yeah.
Works, or would you like me to do it at 11? And that really gives
Well,
you
it kind
guys
of
a
depends
rabbit
on the
chance.
agenda.
Yeah.
Today was a small agenda.
Sometimes we have a larger agenda.
Let's do
we don't know.
11:30, and that way we know that there's time. So that I'll let them know if that works for the board. I'll let the union know that that works.
That'd be the 26th.
Yes,
right?
sir. The other thing I wanted to bring to the board was that with respect to the City Hall renovation project, in front of the Stormwater Board, I had the Stormwater Board approve some partial funding of the project through Proven IT. But I indicated at that meeting that the contracting party is the city, so it needs the Board of Works approval. I don't see it on the agenda, but if we want to move forward with that and have the mayor sign that contract, this board needs to approve that contract.
So just to explain, there was a stormwater bond, it was the old bond, and there was money left in it, and as you know, Nina has storm and sanitary employees in her department. And so in order to get desks and things like that for her office, she suggested that we could use that. If you well, and some of you weren't here, Joette, I know Jamie wasn't, the original stormwater bond had $2 million in it for City Hall renovations. And that money was spent, as was the $1.5 million that was supposed to go to the South Willow Creek project. This is the remaining money that's left in the bond that technically can't go to any other project because it probably wouldn't work. It would be a bigger project. But it can help out with the clerk treasurers getting desks and things in there, because she does have storm and sanitary employees. When they closed the building across the street and moved everybody over, they became the responsibility of the clerk treasurer.
How much money do we need and how much money is available?
Well, let me put it this way, because we had a rather rousing discussion at the stormwater because they questioned that, but there's what, maybe 200,000 in there, Nina, roughly? Clearly, the portion of the remodel for the clerk treasurer's office exceeds $200,000 because they're tearing out walls, they're expanding the entire clerk treasurer area. But the only money left in that bond to help with that is like $200,000.
Sure.
So you can't take more from a pot that isn't there.
No, I understand that. And we determine what is the appropriate amount of money that is required for furniture for storm or sanitary employees. Is that going to
We
take
don't have that
100,000,
yet.
50,000?
Oh, no, it's much more than that because we're talking about moving walls and putting in carpet and, the whole thing. So we're
But-
trying to estimate, but I'm sure it's well over $200,000.
I guess, let me turn to our attorney and ask the question. So this is a bond where there's dollars remaining.
Yes.
The bond was intended for storm or sanitary purposes, correct?
Yes.
So the only way we could use that money is to use it for appropriate storm and sanitary expenses in the new city hall, correct?
Correct, just to be
So
aware.
what would fall under that?
So-
Moving a wall would fall under that?
Well, so here's the thing. So what I asked the stormwater board to do at their meeting was to approve the expenditure with the contingency that I review the original bond documents. So I would suggest that this board, if you're so inclined to move forward, keep the same contingency, and I'll review the bond to ensure that it works. But there would be, let me just put it to you this way. There would be no reason for me to believe that it doesn't work, having seen as many bonds as I've seen.
Okay.
I think it's fine, but I just wanted to, just to sort of ease any concerns that we don't get ourselves in there's some weirdness in the bond. Sometimes that happens. I'll review it.
Okay. I just want to make sure it's spent appropriately.
That's a very good ambition.
Yes.
The public.
Well, yes, we'll just leave it at that.
Yes.
So we don't know the dollar amount, so we're not approving the specific dollar
Yeah, I
amount.
think so. So Nina, I've seen so many of these contracts from Proven, but is that the one that was the 138,000?
About that, I can pull it up.
I can too. I
Well,
think
Proven is our IT contractor,
So
whether
it's-
they have to do with furniture.
So that it doesn't for this. This contract is for the different wiring for the council chambers, for the monitors.
So if I could, yeah, let me, Nina, she's right on. So I think that's this contract. So it's $138,887.96 total. Of that,
Can you repeat that number, please?
I can, and I'll try to do it slower because
Thank you,
it's
'cause I
coffee.
can't write
Too much
that
coffee. It's $138,887.96 total. Now let me break it down. Of that, and Nina can jump in and explain if there's any, because I'm not an IT guy. But of that, labor is $20,550. Of that, cabling is $4,070.40. Of that, the hardware is $44,924.36. And then the Verkada is, and Nina, you can explain that, is $69,343.20.
Verkada?
Verkada
Those
is
are
the
the
manufacturer.
They're the security cameras.
So that's it. I reviewed this contract, spoke with Proven, spoke with Nina, spoke with the mayor, spoke with stormwater members, thinking that stormwater would be the one that would approve the contract. But then, as we approached that stormwater meeting, it became clear in my mind that they were going to approve the funding since it's coming under a bond that's under their control. But the contracting party is really the city. So when I looked at this contract, I've approved it already as far as the legalities of it. It's fine with me. It's pretty short, actually. Pretty straightforward stuff. I think the mayor has reviewed it ad nauseum, going through it, and I know you've talked to Proven a number of times about this, Mayor. So I think it's fine to approve it. And the only reason I'm springing it on you is we just had that stormwater meeting, and there's a question of being able to get inventory right now. So Proven was very concerned. The longer this rolled, the harder it would be to get inventory. So I think it's a time-sensitive thing.
So,
The other thing is, Scott, the council president sat with Proven and Z and worked out the technology packet and the AV packet. I didn't really work on that with them, they did, and then they ran it through Dan.
gotcha. So really what we're approving is to spend this amount, $138,887.96 of the remaining stormwater bond dollars.
No, I think I would ask that what I'm asking of this board is to just approve the contract of $138,887, approve the contract.
Okay, thank you.
There's more to the picture of the City Hall remodel. I'm just asking for this
It's
little piece.
just
of it.
because of the time sensitivity to be able to have the contract executed.
So the motion doesn't need to include where the money's coming from?
I don't think so.
That's your call, Mr. Attorney.
Get my carrier on notice. This could go either
Yeah.
way. No, we're fine. We're fine. And Nina, do you want to explain any further where the money's coming from for the $130,000?
Right, so, there's money for the project, what $1 million was set aside from RDC for the project?
Yes.
A million from RDC. The city has 650,000 from the GO bond, the 2020 GO bond, plus we have the 200,000+ remaining in the old stormwater bond. So it wouldn't make sense for the old stormwater bond to pay for all the equipment, you know, so it needs to be broken up between all parties. So I thought the cleanest way to go about it would be the RDC, since they're paying the bulk of the apps and entered into the contract with the contractor, would be for them to invoice the stormwater board for the entire amount of the bond proceeds, and then, you know, that way it's all paid together.
So I believe the funding is all laying there. We just need to, and this is in the big picture, this, as you know, Member Williams, this is a small piece of the pie.
Yes.
But so I would recommend approving this contract, but again,
And the contract is with Proven?
was with Proven IT.
Okay. Well, thank you for the explanation, Mayor, Clerk, Attorney
And
Whitney.
we have more, Scott, because what the stormwater asked is a breakdown of how much the storm and sanitary costs would be for this project. Because keeping in mind when we started the project, it didn't include the clerk treasurer's office. And so we added that in to space her people out and give her more space for storage and all kinds of things. So then it added money to the project.
Because ultimately, when the USB split, and my office became also the billing office, it was taken into consideration that I have more people now in my office than the remaining city hall.
Sure, no, that makes sense. I understand the reasoning behind this.
And the stormwater, when they approved funding, they made it contingent upon the review of the bond, obviously, like I said, but they also made it contingent upon some report that indicated the percentage or something, and I think
And
Nina
AJ
was
was
going.
involved in that.
Yeah.
Well, in my motion, I'm going to mention not necessarily the dollar figures, but how it's going to be used for labor, cabling.
It's up to you.
Yeah. All right, I make a motion that we approve the contract with Proven IT for the new City Hall remodel that includes labor, cabling, hardware, and security cameras.
Excuse me.
Bless you. That's not my motion.
I'll take all the blessings I can get. We have a motion by Scott, seconded by Jamie, to approve the proven contract for City Hall. Is there any further discussion?
Not for me.
If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That's all I have, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
And I'm happy to report to the board, though the project is really moving along. And if you haven't had a chance to stop by, I do believe they're getting the elevator. We went to Mixed Design yesterday to pick out carpeting and paint. So it's moving along rather nicely. I'm hoping that ultimately, beginning in January, we can have our meetings in our own City Hall chambers. So.
Be great.
If there is no other business to come before the board, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
A motion by Steve, seconded by Jamie, all in favor?
Aye.
Signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Thank you, everyone.